Hey guys, David Lewis here. We're on another adventure. We're in Tennessee. Wow, this is fascinating. What in the world? This to me doesn't even look natural. Looks man-made. Wow. I'm looking in the camera and then I'm looking in real life and I'm thinking this is it's even more beautiful in real life. I wish you guys could see this. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. I actually think this is man-made. Maybe a temple. I mean, you know, there were natives here at one time, or people, indigenous peoples. You don't think they would live here? I would choose this spot myself, for sure. Wow. What? Are you kidding me? It is so beautiful in Alabama and Tennessee. I've never seen anything like this in Idaho. Oh, there's so much to see here. Can't wait till we can get down there and look at that and all these other things. Wow. How beautiful. Wow, what an amazing place. You see, those are quarried. This is not natural. That's quarried stone. I mean, it's been there a long, long time. But that's not natural. They call it a natural bridge, but I don't believe it. Been here for a long, long time, though. Time has worn the rocks. So it's almost, you know, it's washed away in a lot of ways. And it looks more natural now. But, you know, those stones are quarried. That tree is just huge. That's got to be 15 feet around. Yeah, look at this brick fireplace. That's man-made. There's even a chimney. There's a chimney over there. It goes up. There's light back in there. This is not natural. This is an ancient home, and this was their living room and kitchen where they cooked, like a kiln of some sort. I want to go up on top and see where that chimney comes out. I see light coming through. I think that hole goes way back in there, and there's light way back in there. It's crazy. Okay. Weiss was here. The flat earther guy. Or one of his ancestors. Progenitors. I was reading the comments, and somebody on the internet had been here, was recommending it, you know, people were recommending coming here, and most everybody was like, oh, it's the most amazing place. And this one person's like, well, you know, it takes about 10 minutes to see it, and that's all there is. There's nothing there. No big deal. This would take me more than 10 minutes to explore this. Whoa. I could spend maybe years exploring this area. And I might just do that. The one thing that I was beginning, you know, I thought, well, I've got to get out of here. So beautiful. I had no idea Alabama, Tennessee, and this area was so beautiful. But I'm sure up in, you know, maybe in, you know, talk about West Virginia and stuff. I've never been there in the mountains. But I was thinking, well, there's all these nuclear power plants. I can't stay here. It's too dangerous. And now I'm beginning to think that maybe that's just to be a big HOAX. So that we'll get scared and leave, I guess. I mean, this is just tremendous, amazing, beautiful. Fascinating. Fascinating, Captain. Seems the people of this planet have an unusually beautiful place to live, and they don't appreciate it. Wow. Wow. All right, what we got down here? Whoa. You tired, buddy? Little gargoyle guarding the entrance. Sounds like they found some water. It's beautiful foliage here too. Yeah, there's probably bats in there in the cracks and the holes. I need to be careful sticking my nose in these cracks. Because not really one who has a great love for bats. Remember one of them got in our 3-story lodge one time. My mom made me go up there with a broom, and I was trying to hit it every time it would go by, and finally hit it and knocked it out, and I had to take that thing. Where'd you come from? It's like a little spring here. kind of trickles out of there. Which makes this not such a great place to shelter because of the water here, but probably at one time there was a nice pond or something, or a creek there where they could get water. I mean, it's crazy. Way up there. Kind of slick, wet, cloudy day, which is good because it's not hot. Oh, berries and stuff in here. Raspberries. There's another one of these man-made cooking stoves. I wonder how old these old things are. Huh. Nice area up here where it's dry for sleeping, and then you have your water here, and then you can cook. You could plug that hole up and you have a little pool of water here, like a little dam. Maybe for bathing and stuff. And this is a home for ancient humans that were smart enough to know how to live. See, there's a big, huge area here. They had this open up into a little pool here, probably for bathing. That was just for the sink. Maybe washing certain clothes or something. Who knows what they did with these. There's like an underground creek here. Oh, the smell. It's a beautiful smell. I don't know what that smell is. It's not like flowers, but man, it's so fragrant. It's like, it's not just like a woof of flower, but it's like you're just overwhelmed with this, like somebody opened a perfume bottle, but it's flowers of some kind here. I don't know why. Wow. It's perfectly dry up in here to sleep. All the berries you can eat. It's like a rainforest. Wow. You still smell that overwhelming, amazing smell of the flowers. I don't even know if I've ever smelt that much flower aroma before. Of course, it's just rained. Maybe the raspberry. I don't think it's the raspberries. Probably berries that grew on that. Huh, they closed this off or something. Oh, look at that. Little creatures. I don't know what that is. It's moving. If it's a centipede, they're sometimes real poison. They're more poison than scorpions. Some of them. Wow. Crazy. That's what they use those for. They're little places to bathe. Alright, let's get out of here. This is deteriorated. Looks like they used to have regular tours or something in here. Let's go back the other way. This is really beautiful this way. I wonder what the other way looks like. Oh. Hit the jackpot today. Oh, see those flowers? Oh, that down through there. Oh, wow. Smells like roses, kind of. Like you're just in a field of nothing but flowers. Wow. There's a smell that I remember. A certain flower, but I don't know what kind it was. The only flowers I see are these raspberries and everything. These Those might be roses. Those might be wild roses. I'm not sure. So they're related to raspberries anyway, so. These dogs are having the time of their life. They love it. We go on our walks, don't you? He's like, I want to get down inside and swim. It's just a little creek. Most people wouldn't want to live out here anymore. Just quiet and lonely. Enjoying their life. I don't think people understand. I think we've literally been conditioned to a point where I don't think we understand what joy or life is. I know we need our families, and that's part of the reason why we don't live out here, because we think we'd have to leave our families, but our family should be out here with us. We could go that way. Take our chances that way, but I think we'll go this way. The way we came. And then I want to go on the right side of the trail. Wow. I'll go that way. Okay, I want to go this way. There's a big old square quarried block that's fallen over there. Almost like the rock at Baalbek. I see some interesting things along this, but I want to get up here and I'll come back here on the way back and look at that rock. Let's get up here. Oh my. I was hoping maybe on this, as we go, there might be a little area where I'll get a view to look off. Holy moly moly, so beautiful down here. See rocks. It's like quarried. Probably from the cliff itself. Oh yeah. I mean, as pretty as it is back in here, I also realize that I don't know that I'd like living permanently in the kind of a jungle forest, rainforest. I like meadows and sunshine and drier climates as well. But I think if a person lived back in here and they had a trail going around the side and you had a view like this or something where you could get sunshine in, it'd be a lovely place. Huh. Wow. Okay. I don't know if this is a trail or not. Maybe somebody's making a trail. You know, this is the kind of trails I like. The less used, where nobody else is. Might see something interesting back here. Oh yeah. Huh. What? Huh. Yeah, I better not go any further. This might be. I guess I'm not on the regular trail here. That is an amazing, beautiful place. You know, this is probably private property at this point, so I don't know. Kind of stumble upon other people's stuff walking around out through here. So I don't like trespassing, so I'm going back, but wow, I can't help but think of how beautiful it is here. Look at those lilacs, wild lilacs or something up there. I don't know what they are, actually. Thought they were for a minute. I really haven't seen any more snakes around here or bugs than I have anywhere else. In fact, so far, there may be less bugs and snakes than there were in Oklahoma here. At least here. I think somebody's cutting these trees down because up on top here, there may be some buildings. I didn't know where I was. So, probably getting off course here. Maybe these are the ones that's making all the smell. Don't smell too much with that. You know, like I said, I like it down here for a while. I enjoy walking in a place like this and exploring the caves. But I'm not really a cave person. Darkness doesn't do much for me. The cold. I like the heat in a drier climate. I like the view, the openness, less trees, fields of flowers and daffodils. More my nature. I've noticed that. That's why when I was in Idaho, I didn't like it that much, because it felt like it was a dark forest all the time, and the trees were all towering above you and you couldn't really see the horizon. But when I went to New Mexico, it was always these sunsets that were so brilliant, the colors, and the sun rises, and the magnificent thunderstorms. The monsoon rains would come, and it was just so amazing. You could see and feel the power of the thunder and the lightning and the colors and the beauty, but it was still, it's like you could see for miles, and you felt more free. But there's definitely something here. I think this was a forgotten part of this. I think this is the realm of Moses. He's the keeper of the serpents. He wrote the law of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and death and vengeance. And he went up to Mount Sinai and got that revelation. And this is part of the universe, and it's a beautiful place. A place that we had to overcome and get through. A place we don't mind returning at times to view it and experience the memories. It's like the past. It's like a dark memory that taught us a lot along the road. And then we got to Elijah, and he went into the fiery chariot. I think that's the astral. And he was on the Mount of Transfiguration with Moses. And then Christ was the body of light, the pinnacle, the capstone of light on that great pyramid of the 144,000 that stand upon that Mount Zion. And all three of them will be transfigured, you know, exalted, achieve their purpose, but in one whole. It's like a body. You know, we have the 7 chakras, and we have the subtle bodies. We live in all of them, our consciousness, and it's an expanding awareness. We came from beneath and we're going to above. There's as many, many zillions and trillions of miles, an infinite above and an infinite below, and we've been for all eternity. And we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards into the light, which is where I feel more happy now myself. I think I have to say I feel graduated from this darkness. It doesn't inspire me much anymore. It does, nostalgia-wise, you know, but sometimes it just makes me a little sad too, sitting here. Nothing wrong with being sad though. But I don't think people understand. I don't think most of the those who think they know the mysteries today, I don't think they do know the mysteries. They were searching for them. And I don't believe that any of the prophets that you could think of really knew face-to-face. Paul said he didn't know face-to-face, but only through a dark glass, partially. And I don't believe, I mean, there's so many of these, like Madame Blavatsky, she wrote a book, she was inspired, she was a channel for this information. The angels gave her this information like a prophet. I don't think she fully grasped it. But she had the kind of integrity that they needed for that. work at that time, and all the occult world, because they wanted to continue to keep their power, like these Crowleys. They were the occult leaders that were using this power. They were hiding it from us, the puny little peasants, and they were keeping it in these little orders they were initiated into, and only those who were initiated into this information was allowed to and they believed it. It's like this. I just heard something crazy happened 2 days ago. I mean, I was telling you guys about this Dr. Berg. It's kind of synchronistic how this is all coming together right now. But, you know, I been watching Dr. Berg's videos. He's very, very knowledgeable on natural herbs and how the body works. And I got a lot from him, and I was recommending people watch him. And I still do, as far as that goes. You know, you're never going to find absolute truth anywhere. But his son just came out and exposed him as a very high-up Scientologist with a lack of love and patience for his son, and they're just shunning him like my family did me. In fact, the Scientologists might be even worse. It's a kind of a crazy, weird thing. It's like, I don't know which is worse. But both of those religions are very bad. They both have a hand in running Hollywood and a lot of these other things. So, again, I should have known Dr. Berg. I mean, I keep telling you guys. And, you know, I hear a lot of people saying, what about this guy named Steiner, right? He was a theosophist, and you know, wasn't he a follower of Madame Blavatsky, and wasn't he a good guy? And, well, you know, I have to say, I don't know for sure. I don't think anybody is necessarily black or white. I don't think even Crowley was all evil. He was probably deceived a great deal, and then that turns people evil. And I know that Madame Blavatsky was a good woman and was, you know, revealing great truths. I know that certain individuals were good. I know that Joseph Smith was a prophet. But Steiner's something that I haven't honestly done that much research or done a lot of praying about him to know for sure. But the thing that stands out is his name, Steiner. Was from Germany. People point out that Hitler didn't like him. Well, there's a lot of that pretend going on, like Trump don't like Biden, you know, or like Elon Musk doesn't like Bill Gates, and there's a feud, or there's a feud with Putin, and it's ridiculous. There's no feud. They each play parts, and I do believe that Steiner was their way of getting in and diverting people from Madame Blavatsky. Now, nobody's reading Madame Blavatsky's inspired information from, you know, her work. Isis Unveiled and so forth. But instead, people are more looking at those who interpret that work through that lens. Some German that pretended to be for the theosophical teachings, but ended up parting with them and leading mankind in a different direction. And though he was very clever and he had a lot of interesting information, I don't think it was actually accurate. I think he was, it's only a guess that he was part of the detour, because what Madame Blavatsky had given the world was too amazing. They didn't want the world to know all of that. Same thing with Joseph Smith. They had to bring Brigham Young in and martyr him as a young man, and then go off into some degenerate polygamy and, you know, and all of this ridiculousness, and temples and rituals and ceremonies and so forth in Salt Lake City. Start another white brotherhood, you know, which is not what, you know, Joseph Smith was not for any of that. He was prohibitionist and loved everyone, and had, you know, friendships with the Native Americans, and taught that they were the children of Israel. And but after he left, then they went into some sort of racist, polygamist, bigamist kind of insanity. And I think it's the same with all of these, although Steiner wasn't, you know, that obvious. But I don't know that for sure. But I can tell you that Steiner did disagree with Madame Blavatsky, and I don't like that. Because I'm not, you know, and I'm not saying to disagree with her opinions about anything, but you know, her works and her nature and her the things that she was out to do. He did not respect or understand the true nature of what her work was. His work was nothing but to diffuse the truth. And he didn't agree with Casey. And again, Casey was just, you could say just an interpreter, but he got his information from Spirit, from the Holy Spirit, while in trance with the Acacia Records. I don't think Steiner can prove that. He did that. But again, his name gives it away. And I think there's a lot of obfuscation going on and people being diverted from truth. Now, the same kind of thing might have happened with Charles Taze Russell. Remember, he was a Mason, but that doesn't necessarily mean Joseph Smith and his family may have been Masons. George Washington. So there were branches of the esoteric wisdom, the brotherhood, the mystery schools that had truth, and we're trying to preserve that and make a better world. I mean, if they weren't there, we would never have made the Constitution of freedom, justice, and liberty for all. But the devil was hot on their heels in Bavaria, these Germans over there, and in 1776, the very year that the good guys were over here making a Constitution and liberty, they were instituting a dark, hidden, occult brotherhood to take over the world. And they always would come in when somebody had a good idea and take them down, ridicule them, or kill them, and then make them an icon so that people would worship them and change what they taught. So same thing happened to Russell. And I think, you know, when Russell was going out to Los Angeles, he got to Texas. I don't believe he was unhealthy. I don't think he was sick, or why would he be traveling? There's no record that him being that sick. But he died in the graveyard October 31st on Halloween night. I think they probably ritually murdered him. And I hear that that Joseph Rutherford was a gangster, you know, an individual like, you know, John Gotti or whatever. These guys were criminals. And he was a judge. All lawyers are criminals. That's what being a lawyer is. It's a legal crime syndicate. And they know how to do this. Young, good, decent people don't go to college for years to learn how to rip people off and to use the system to get ahead and become billionaires, while us peasants sit and writhe in pain in our little 6x9 prison cells. Friends, that's not how the children of the Lord operate. So I think Russell may or may not have been at least sincere. And they used him like they used Tesla, perhaps. I don't know. They put Tesla up in a big pyramid in New York City, right by the Astoria building. See? And then they tried until he died, and then they finally ran in there, and John Trump, Trump's uncle, ran in there and got the papers, which evidently gave them information how to build bombs to destroy the world. How to make free electricity or something. Maybe even a time machine, which I want to get into later, talking about how they're actually, if and when they ever do any traveling to other planets, it will be through wormholes, space portals or whatever. That there are 2 of them on the Earth. There may be more, but one is at the North Pole, one is at the South Pole, and I believe that the one on the South Pole, you go into the past, and that would be certain areas in the universe. And if you go through the North Pole, you go into a different dimension of some sort. Shambhala, the kingdom of the Lord. It's a higher place. It's the heavens, the height. And I don't know if they're allowed to go to the place at the, through that portal. I doubt whether they're even allowed to, although it says in the Bible that Satan isn't thrown out of heaven until he has access to heaven, right up until the end. And then he's thrown down, and woe for the earth and the sea, and he opens the bottomless pit. So I think what these individuals in the past were prophets, and they didn't fully grasp the revelation. I think Moses grasped the revelation of this world. It's an eternal, forever world. Hell is eternal. It's not a place for humans. It's a place for snakes and scorpions, and for the people who live and die in this rat race with this carnal nature. And I think Elijah got the revelation of Mount Horeb, which is an astral body. He went in a fiery chariot. And I think Christ got brought the revelation of the Father of heaven. And I think we have to understand that this is all part of us. In one body will be transfigured upon that mountain. I don't believe any of the children of the Lord will be lost. Esau and Jacob will both be saved, and the children of the flesh will be like the sands of the sea for number, and the children of the Spirit will be as the stars of heaven for multitude. And we are both of them in one body. So Christ went unto the spirits that were in prison and preached unto them, for the gospel was preached unto the dead. So I think there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that I want to go into further in some upcoming videos that we're going to be doing. I think I'll start walking back on this trail here. Yeah. Well, let's head back. But it is beautiful. These little carvings inside the... Some of it looks like it might not be all natural. Is there... I look for sundials a lot, because whenever people live in areas, they always have a calendar. You'll usually find the place where they will put their calendars. Well, I was thinking that I don't see much here. Most of it's probably washed away, but there is what does almost appear to be a little round circle there, but it's certainly worn. That could have been a sun calendar or something at one time. That could have been some sort of a carving that's no longer, it almost looks like a mummy or something, but it's worn away. A lot of times they didn't really actually live in these kinds of places. They would have wooden houses built over top, and they would do ceremonies and stuff here. These were usually temples. Just fantastic. Because people don't really want to live down here where it's cold. They would go someplace nearby and build a cabin on a hill where it's warm. So, alright, well, I'm going to head back. Go across this beautiful unnatural bridge here. And head home and get this loaded. What a beautiful day. You know, these are memories that you just will never be able to forget. I wouldn't want to. Wouldn't want to. Alright. One last time over the bridge. So amazing. I don't know if you guys can tell how big that tree is. I don't think it looks as big as it actually is. It's so beautiful. I just love this. Alright guys, bye. See you tomorrow.